All right, we're going to go live here in just a moment. Just doing some administrative work real quick. And let's get the party started here. All right, here we go. And welcome back to AlphaInfinity Tech. We're going to buy some mining gadgets here. We're going to get loaded up and we're going to get out of here. Okay, let's head down to the hangar where our mole should be waiting for us. And we're going to head out to a nice little destination in Pyro here. We're going to go crack some rocks. All right, let's see what we got here. And as always, let me know how the audio is if things aren't working out. And, of course, the stream quality. All right, let's try choosing our hangar again. There we go. And let's make sure that our mole's waiting for us. All right, where is our mole? Let's take a look here. Very nice. All right, let's see if we can get into the hangar now. See if this will cooperate. It looks like it is. Very nice. Okay. Got our beautiful Aphorite library. Or paint, we like to call it in America. And I have a pretty specific mole configuration that I like to use in this part of the verse. And we'll just kind of go over all that here pretty soon. Make sure you hit that gear icon and select 4K. Trying out the new streaming box here tonight, trying to make sure everything's working. We've run into a few snags here and there, but I think we've got everything just about worked out. Okay. Get the lights turned on, and we are out of here. Beautiful, beautiful paint. And there, my friends, is Bloom. They did a really nice job on Bloom. Let's go ahead and get some speed going here just to make sure we're less of a target. And we're going to head out to Pyro 1 today. Absolutely gorgeous part of the verse, by the way, if you can do it in the daylight. And you're probably wondering, why am I in the Pembroke suit? Well, because where we're going, it's about 230 degrees Celsius. Because I like to mine where other people don't. The more inhospitable the environment, the better the input. Absolutely gorgeous. And there is our mole. If you are observant, you may notice that we're running 2 Helix 2s, and you'd be correct. All right, let's see if we can get on the light side of the planet here. Yep. Let's shoot for that point right there somehow. Don't want to mine in the dark, so we're going to try for the light side of the planet here. So we'll head towards Russville and then go from there. All right, let's get that quantum drive spooled up and get the course plotted. There we go. And off we go. And as always, looking for some feedback on the stream, so let me know. All right, off we go. Point, but point, but all right. And let's get that scan out. And there's one at 16,000, so we'll head that direction first. Beautiful. All right. Another gorgeous day out here in the Pyro universe. Oh my, we have all sorts of cool stuff here. Let's see what we got right this direction. So 15,000. Yeah, let's go check these out first. And let's see if we can find some rocks to take care of here. Okay, get into mining mode, get out of nav mode, get those shields up. And we'll start here and see if we can find any decent sized rocks. All right, so we got ourselves a 10,404. And let's see what we got here. A 15,000. Yeah, not looking great. All right, let's go over this way. And let's get back out of mining mode, back into scan mode here. Boy, there's a 31,000. Let's see what that looks like. Beautiful. Lots of options here. Let's take a look at what we got. And if you're hanging out, let me know in chat. I'll give you a shout out on the stream here. All right, so tungsten. Let's see if there's anything worth taking a bite out of today. Gold. I'm just kind of looking at the big ones, and if I get 3 in a row that are like below 20,000, I skip the whole Laranite. Because there's a lot of stuff in here. 24,000 in gold. I think we'll skip it. I'm looking for some more valuable stuff today. Bexlite, that's a good one too. Well, between the Bexlite and the gold, that might actually be worth. But I'd like to find a little bit more challenging rocks. So let's keep looking here. Got a couple over here that we should check out. And if you're just joining us, welcome to AlphaInfinity Tech. We are on the rocks tonight in Pyro. Oh wow, we can't scan these, huh? Let's see if that does anything for us. There we go. The old trick still works where you can shoot them. Okay, small rocks. This probably is going to be pretty small too. We'll move on. Yeah. Okay, let's get some altitude. Get back into scan mode. Lots of options. 20 and 11. Let's go check out the 11 first. Always heading into the sun. The one that's close by is not looking exactly appetizing. We probably could have taken the 2 rocks back there, but like I said, I'm looking for something a little bit more challenging tonight. Okay, 7,000. 19 right there. All right, let's go check out the 19 over there, and then we have 20. Yeah, let's start with the 19 first. They're both about 5K out. And we're just going to keep heading into the sun here. Beautiful day on Pyro. All right, let's see what we got here. This looks like a lot of rocks. I'm not hopeful. $37. Good size, though. A lot of mass. I like to see that kind of mass. 22. $19 in gold. Might be worth cracking if there's something closer that's better. That's more. 19 and yeah. All right. All right, let's keep heading into the sun. All right, what do we got over here? 15,000 and let's go check this out. Another beautiful day in Pyro. I'm going to adjust my stream settings here just a little bit. It looks like we're getting a few Dropped frames for some reason. There we go. All right, what do we got in front of us here? And if you're joining us, hit me up in chat. Let me know you're around. Lots of rocks on Pyro tonight. What do we got? Okay, that's an 11. Not really interested in that. That's small. That's a 6. Come on, give me a big one. Something worth cracking. A 13. And a 13. Okay. Let's keep on looking here. There's got to be something better than that. Let's go check out the 12K, about 5K out. Oh, that looks like a lot, though. Yep. It seems like we're getting, you know, they're doing a lot of mass, but in smaller quantity rocks. Probably not even worth looking at anyway, but who knows? Yeah. Anything big here? Let's take a look. Yeah. Okay, let's keep on trucking. Anything that pops under 5, not even worth it. Got a 10. And it's 7, 18, so we'll keep heading this direction. Beautiful day out on Pyro, though. Lots of fun, hopefully. The one thing about coming down towards a common point on one of these planets is that everybody else does too, so the area close by is pretty much farmed out. I don't know how often they regenerate these rocks, but this looks like a lot of them too. 21 in copper. Another 21K rock. $13, so this is all copper right here. But at least there's lots of options. All right, let's see what's we got popping right here. Did I read that correctly? Was that a 98,000? I did. That's a big one. We don't have the we don't have enough friends to pop that one tonight. That's a big rock. Wow. There's a 64. Okay, am I not in coupled mode? There we go. That's a big rock. See if we get something a little bit more reasonable. 15K Bex rock. How about this guy over here? Now we're finding some bigger things. 33 in tungsten, so might as well just scan this one just for the heck of it. Okay. Getting closer. All right, let's go see what we got out here. Got a couple options close to each other here. Wow, that's a lot of them right there. For sure. What do we got? Jeez. 82K Laranite. Give me something. Ah, a 73K Quantanium rock. Wow. Crazy. Gonna need some friends for that one. Laranite at 42. Terranite at 87K. Unfortunately, that is outside my capability, at least with this setup and no friends online. There's a 20,000 Bexlite. And a 96.7 Quantanium, but not really enough for... Wow, that's crazy. Look at that, 73,000 Quantanium rock. That's a big guy right there. And an 82,000 Laranite. Now that one... I think we can take. How many SCU is this here? Total of 40, but that would wrap up our trip here. Let's go see what we got over here real quick. I need a 35 to 40K Quant rock. What do we got hanging out over here? Take a look here. Dang, a 70,000 gold rock. $52,000 Terranite. I think we'll take a crack at that one. No pun intended. And then we can go back and get that Quantanium rock. So I think that's the plan. I think we got a game plan, folks. But I'm going to scan the rest of these guys right over here, these bigger ones at least, just to make sure we're not missing anything crazy. 42 on gold. We can take that too. Yeah, We got a good field here. All right. But first, 14 resistance. I think we'll just try to nose up, and I have the laser for the job on this one. All right. So I did mention that I'm running 2 Helix. Mining heads on this guy, and one is all passives, and I don't think we can crack it with the 3 Rigers on this particular mining head, but I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. So let's go ahead and we have 2 Helix mining heads on this particular build. On the other one, I'm running 3 surge modules, so those are actives. And let's kill that, and let's kill that, and let's make sure that our mining laser is full power. Kill the power to it and bring it back on. There we go. And it's going to say impossible. Resistance is at 10%. And so with the 3 Rigers, oh, the latency is just not great. As you can see, our charge level is not even coming up. And I think that's because our mass limitation is about 35K on this one. So let's pop over to the other side of the mole here, where we have our other Helix 2. Basically what I do is I run 2 Helix 2s, 1 running all actives, 1 running all passives. The one with the passives will get me up to about 35K rocks, and then the one with the actives will get me up to 60K, as long as the resistance was within the 10 to 12% range. So we'll pop over to the one with the actives, or the active modules here, the surge modules, and we'll see if we can crack this one. All right. And let's bring up the power.
Systems activated.
And we can go ahead and let's see if we can not even touching it. It's interesting. That's weird. We should be able to get into this one pretty good. It's like it's not even registering. We should be crushing this rock right now. All right, well, not getting that one today. And we're going to bring up another playlist here. All right. That is so weird. But I am getting a little bit of latency on the server, so I don't know what's going on. But we should be able to crack that rock no problem at 10% or 6% resistance with 3 surges on a Helix 2. Should be working like a champ. So we'll point back into the sun. And we'll get back into scan mode and we'll go find something we can deal with. Let's go check this one out. Yeah, that Helix 2 with 3 surge modules should get us up to easily 50, 60k rocks. And if you're just joining us, welcome to AlphaInfinity Tech. On the rocks tonight, we're live in Pyro. Trying to get some rocks to cooperate here. Found some 70 and 80k mass Quantanium rocks, or maybe 50, 60 earlier in the stream, but beyond my capability, so gonna need a couple of friends and moles for those guys. And there's a 59k gold. Lots of options here. Let's take a look and see what we got. 36k. Okay. Yeah, not worth really cracking that one. So we're looking for tier S and tier 1 materials here. So gold or Vexilite would be acceptable. All right, let's see what we got. We gonna scan out or what? There we go. Definitely some big rocks out in this area though. And that one was at, oh, look at that. Yeah, 60k almost in mass. $119 SCUs, gold, tungsten. Might try to take a crack at that one, but boy, the 55k rock we just took a crack at didn't work out for us. There's a 21k in Quantanium that we would take last. Only 35 SCUs total though, the whole rock. And let me know how the stream quality is in chat. Let me know you're around. Let's see here. So, I don't know. I think we keep on trucking here. There's got to be more options. And yes, I am passing on the small Quantanium. That's going to effectively end my night. So I want to find something decent here. So we're going to head into the sun again. And see what we can find. One thing about mining out in the more inhospitable places out in Pyro is you'll notice that my speed is not good. You know, you're pushing 130 meters a second. You might get a little bit more if you go back into nav mode, but ultimately you're not going anywhere fast, and that's okay. All right, let's take a look and see what we got here. Lots of 50, 60, 70, 80k rocks tonight, but yeah, an 11 and Terranite, not worth my time. I imagine all these are going to be a little bit smaller. Yeah, 52. I imagine this won't be the same. We'll just move on here. Looking for something a little more challenging to crack than this. This is prospector work right here. This would be good for a prospector. All right. Let's get back into scan mode here. That's not, there's a 20 out at 9.5 and and a 9300 out here. So let's see what we got. We'll hit this one first and then we'll head over. These look awfully small. Oh, yeah, that's not worth our time. Okay. Back into scan mode here. Might as well scan this even though it's a single. Why not? You never know. All right, let's go take a look at the 20 return that we got over here. Lots of rocks this direction. And we're just headed into the sun. I think mining in the dark is boring. You know, if I were going to watch that on a stream, I wouldn't want to watch that. So I'm trying to stay on the lighter side of the planet here. All right, let's see what we got here. Okay. Not bad on mass, not good on material. Yeah, I have a feeling this whole field's going to be like that, but we'll scan one more just in case. Big, but not good. All right. One thing about Pyro 1, there's never a shortage of stuff to crack if you want to practice. And it's a great place to go if you want to bring some friends. And I'm not going to get back into nav. We'll just float on over. All right. Let's see what we got. Interesting. Get the weapons back online. All right, Terranite, small. Very small. Another small Terranite rock, okay. And if you're just joining us tonight, welcome to AlphaInfinity. We are on the rocks in Pyro. We are gonna, since we're not getting anything back, we're gonna get into nav mode now and gain some altitude, get some speed going here. All right. Beautiful day out here on Pyro 1. All right, let's go check out this one. We either had too big or too small. We need our Goldilocks rocks. We need something just right. Too small. All right. For those that don't know, it's 230 degrees Celsius today on Pyro 1. Which is why we're in our Pembroke suit. Anyway, if you're hanging out, let me know. Say something in chat. But the difference between nav mode on and off in terms of speed is about 30 meters a second, maybe. There's a 20 and a 15. So we'll go check those out in just a minute. All right, what do we got in front of us here? A 33. We'll take it. What else we got? Be nice if we could maybe get a quant rock in here somewhere. Another gold at 21. Probably take that one too. Maybe. All right, let's take a look at this one, the passives. So what we'll do is we'll nose up here, get up to 15 degrees, and let's take a look and see what we can do here. That way we'll take some, we'll make some money tonight. All right, let's get all that power all the way down. And it'll come up slowly and you'll see my optimals really thin here. And that is because we're running 3 Riger C3s, all passives on this laser. And this gets us up to about 35K in terms of mass. With a resistance in the 10 to 12% range. But I love the server desyncs. But we bring the power up nice and slow. We bring up the charge and the rock nice and easy. and then we'll massage the power a little bit once we get into the optimal range, and we'll crack it. And nice and easy. And then we're going to head over to our extraction laser head. I wonder if I can get this other one. At 21. Yeah, I think we're past the max on that guy. Yeah, way beyond optimal. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to head over to our extraction laser head, and you guys are going to love how nice the that setup is. All right. Basically, I run 2 really powerful lasers and 1 nice extraction setup that makes it nice and easy to break, get those sub breaks going. But watch this temperature over here. All right, let's bring up the power. And let's make sure our mining laser head power is good here, which it is. And looks bad now, right? But look at that. Nice and, oops. Let's try not to overcharge it and lose it though. So we'll let the power drop on this thing. Almost there on the overcharge. We're out of it almost. All right. And so we'll be a little bit more careful, a little less careless here. We'll bring up the charge rate into the optimal range. Nice and easy. And I gotta say, you know, the Hofstad S2 with the 2 passive modules that I have on it makes it really nice on the sub brakes. This one's a little bit more frisky, this particular shard is, but notice that temperature down there at 207 degrees Celsius. It's a hot one out. All right, we'll take a 34%. We'll get some of these out of the way here. No, I think I'm probably going to skip. All right. There's a 71. We'll take it. And what do we got here? And let me know how the stream quality is working out for you guys. And look how nice that green window is right there. Beautiful, isn't it? I gotta say the Hofstad S2 with the 2 XTR-XL modules or XTR-L modules, really nice. Makes the sub brakes so easy. You know, some people like running 3 different laser heads on their moles. I just like running 2 Helix 2s, one with actives, one with passives, and 1 nice extraction laser that does the job. Makes it easy. Even the Quantanium sub brakes are our cake. All right, let's see what we got here. Yeah, I'll take a 47. $59, we'll take that one as well. And if you're joining us, say something in chat. Not taking a 3% gold shard. No thanks. 32 I'll take. Not a 10 though. Not an 8. Boy, those server desyncs are making things real interesting though. Nice and easy. All right. Yikes. All right. So it's definitely not the Hall of the Century, but let's go ahead and get this out of the way. Let's get that one out of the way too. All right, let's see what we got back here. You run a nice industrial grade shield and you can blow stuff up. Dang. Let's get that one out of the way too while we're at it. Got to be a little bit more underneath here. Okay. Ah, those server desyncs are just so bad. Yeah, that one's gonna go, most likely. Probably should have put a severe on this thing.
Manufacturing mode on.
Well, hopefully, maybe we'll get lucky and there'll be some decent shards underneath this one.
Warning. Power critical. Extraction mode on.
I guess we'll take a 23. Why not? $28. A 3. I think we're done messing around with this rock. Let's go get the other. Go look for something else. Let's see if we can go find something else. Something a little bit more fun. Into the sun we go. Because I know we had some stuff nearby. Living on the edge, not having our shields up while we're blowing up shards. Nice. Alright, looks like we got a couple options out here. Beautiful day on Pyro 1. All right, what do we got here? A 38k Laranite rock. Getting picky in my old age. All right. That one, on the other hand, would be worth it. A Bexlite rock. Okay. We'll try and crack that one. A 64k Terranite. Boy, that's a tough one. Look at that. What else do we got here? We got a few smaller ones. I wonder if we can take this one. 19% resistance. I wonder if we can go stick a mining gadget on this one and Why not? Let's go check it out. Bring that resistance down a little bit. And let's make sure we got what we need here. So we got the Optimax. Nice little cluster modifier. Bring down that resistance 30%. I think that's what we'll do. We'll go with the Optimax today. I love it when that happens. Well, that's a pretty big rock, huh? All right. All right, almost to 90% just on that alone. All right, we'll activate it like that. Don't want to tempt fate too much. And let's see what we can do here. Man, that bug where it thinks you have something in your hands, won't let you climb a ladder, that's a little irritating, but hopefully they'll fix that in 4.1. All right, let's go ahead and get positioned properly here. Make sure our shields are up, which they are. And we're going to crack this guy. Let's see what we can do here. Back us off to about 50 meters. And let's go get in our Helix 2. And let's see if we can get this thing cracked without having to restock our surge modules. Not looking good. We're going to be... Not even moving the needle. A little bit. There they all went. All right, well, that one's not happening tonight. Let's see if we can go restock those real quick. I'm curious while we're in the ship. So we'll go in here, we'll get in the pilot seat. And we're going to move closer. Yeah, we're going to move closer. All right. And unlock those ports. I happen to have a couple of surge modules in my backpack here. And I'd really like to do it without landing, but we'll see. There's one. All right, let's try for number 2 without falling out of the damn ship. Ah, lost it. What the heck just happened there? Well, that sucks. All right. May have to land the ship after all. I happen to have a couple more, but can't do that all night. All right. I guess we're going to do this the hard way. Is it complete? I don't know about that. There we go. All right. And let's see what we got here. Change up the music. All right. Let's see if we can go find our surge modules. I still have a couple more in my backpack, but... And let's see what happens with that temp. All right, where are my modules? Look at that temperature, 208 degrees Celsius. There's one. It's a hot one. And we'll rotate. There's number 2. And let's go find our other one. I dropped that sucker right out of there too. Look at that temperature, 208 degrees Celsius. There it is. All right. So we're going to get closer to this rock at not a safe range. And see if we can get it with this Helix 2 with a couple of surges. Let's see where we need to be here. Right here. Okay. Not getting a green anywhere. And we should be going right. Probably right up there. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to take this one back inside the ship and try it from inside. All right. Nope. Not in this suit, I can't. Can't inspect it. Can't pick it up. Just go throw it up there in the ship. Oh, come on. All right. And let's try this again. All right, elevator. Try not to drop this one out of the ship again. I have a feeling that this laser is just not oriented properly. So let's get in the seat. All right. Not cooperating still. At all. And we gotta have 3. Gotta have 3 of those. All right, let's see where our okay. Just can't get this third one on. What a pain. I'm wondering now if maybe the ports were locked again. Let's go check. It's not mining tonight. Tonight's... how to put mining modules back on a laser head out in the field, unfortunately. But I feel like the port's locked up on me again, but we'll find out. All right, let's head back out and try it again. Shouldn't be this hard. No bueno. So let's do this. Did it screw me? I think it did. It did. Of course. I even rotated it in my favor. Yep, see that? Wow. That's awesome. All right, so we got the orientation right on this. And it will absolutely not attach. Isn't that crazy? Wow. Yeah, it should be going on there, but it's not. Doesn't matter what the orientation is, laser head on or off, or what the deal is. It's just not going to attach tonight. All right. Let's try one more time from behind here. Where did we drop it? Very frustrating. And not fun.